Hello. If you're watching this video, you are probably a beginner guitar player who is interested in learning how to play full songs on guitar. Well, that's good, because you are at the very beginning of what will be a long and rewarding journey. Now, through the excitement, it is important to stay grounded and focused on your goal. After all, 90% of guitar players quit within 1 year of playing, according to GuitarWorld.com. So, to make sure that you are in that 10%, it is important to remember that playing the guitar is in fact simple, and learning to play can be very fun. According to Forbes.com, 16 million people learned to play the instrument during the first 2 years of the pandemic. Given that fact, there is no reason that you cannot teach yourself if you spend the time and put your mind to it. That's what makes it so much fun. Now that you know that with the right plan and attitude, playing the guitar can be simple and fun, let's start learning some chords. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is a chord? Maybe you've heard about chords being referred to before, but just simply don't know what they are. Well, according to Fender.com, chords are simply a combination of 3 or more notes sounded together. They're basically the foundation of virtually all Western modern music is based on these chords. In the words of famous Nashville songwriter Harlan Howard, country music, the country music that we all know and love, consists of only 3 chords and the truth. Now that we know what a chord is and how it applies to music, let's take the time to learn our very first guitar chords so that we ourselves can start learning songs. Now, I have my guitar here. It's tuned to E standard. And the very first chord we're going to learn is actually the E minor chord. Okay, and this is how that chord sounds. Play it a little louder. And it's a very simple chord to play because all you need is 2 fingers. I use my middle finger and my ring finger, and I place first my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. Okay, again, my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. Then I place my ring finger on the 2nd fret as well, on the string below it, the D string. Okay, that's the fingering for that chord. And then we're going to go ahead and strum all 6 strings. That's that E minor chord. Congratulations, you now learned your first guitar chord. You can play around with rhythms to achieve different sounds, but in order to play full songs, we need a different chord variety as well. So let's learn a few more. Next, let's move on to A minor. Now, A minor is very similar to E minor in the fact that it uses our middle finger and our ring finger, but we're also going to introduce our index finger this time. The fingering for the A minor chord is actually the same as the E minor chord, except the same for the middle finger and ring finger, that is. The same fingering for that, except we're going to move our middle finger and ring finger down 1 string each. So my middle finger is now on the 2nd fret of the D string, and my ring finger is on the 2nd fret of the G string. Now for our last finger, we're going to move our index finger onto the 1st fret of the B string. And we're actually going to strum just 5 strings this time. We're not going to strum the E string, not the high E, the thick E string rather. We are going to want to strum the high E string right here, but the low E string, we don't want that. Okay, that's going to be the sound we want for that. So now we know 2 chords. We know E minor and we know A minor. And one more chord we can actually learn from this shape is the C major chord. And all we're going to do, we're on A minor now. From that A minor chord, we're just going to simply move our ring finger to the 3rd fret of the A string. We're going to keep our index finger and our middle finger right where it is for the A minor chord, and we're just going to move our ring finger again to the 3rd fret of the A string. And we're going to strum 5 strings for the C major. Now we know A minor, E minor, E minor, A minor, and C major. Now just with those 3 chords, you can write numerous songs, you can learn numerous songs. You can do so much with just 3 basic chords with the guitar. And that is really the point of this lesson today, to show you that you don't need that many chords to be a guitar player. You know, you don't need to know every single thing about the guitar to be a guitar player. 3 chords is more than enough. And it's more than enough to start playing, and it's more than enough to keep playing. So, you know, now that you made it to the end of the lesson, hopefully we've proved the point that learning the guitar can not only be fun, but also simple and enjoyable. You know, playing the guitar not only helps you achieve a great sense of accomplishment, but it also helps with numerous neurological benefits. You know, research was actually published in Alzheimer's Research and Therapy, and it found that guitar playing actually has a positive effect on cognitive function, which helps reduce impairments linked to Alzheimer's. So, you know, playing the guitar is not only a rewarding personal activity, but it also helps your mental health and your physical dexterity as well. So, you know, with that said, guitar playing is without a doubt a fun and rewarding activity for all ages of people. And hopefully you were able to learn something new with this video and become part of the 10% of players who don't quit within 1 year. So, take with that, have fun, keep practicing.